the largest Spanish-speaking population in the United States, the first atomic bomb explosion, UFO sightings, the oldest state capital, the most iconic hot air balloon festival, dramatic landscapes, and even deep-seated racial tensions. All of these are threads in the unique and complex story of New Mexico. This southwestern state, ranked as the fifth largest in the country following Alaska, Texas, California, and Montana, embodies a mix of ancient history and modern intrigue. Bordering notable areas like Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas, and Arizona to the north and west, and the Mexican states of Chihuahua and Sonora to the south, New Mexico is known as the Land of Enchantment. Yet, within its stunning desert landscapes and rich cultural heritage lie untold challenges. Officially, laws prohibit prostitution, but it remains an underground presence. Homelessness rates continue to rise, and social inequalities are pronounced, painting a less glamorous side of New Mexico that might just leave you speechless. From its name alone, you might guess something of New Mexico's origins and history. Translated directly, it means New Mexico, and the name was given by Spanish explorers, drawing from the name of Mexitli, the Aztec god of war, and referring to the Mexica people's heartland. In the 16th century, following their conquest of the Aztecs, Spanish explorers claimed this area as part of their expanding empire. By 1821, New Mexico became part of Mexico's territory, but was ceded to the United States in 1848. It would take until 1912, however, for New Mexico to officially join the U.S. as a state. While Albuquerque is its largest city, the capital is Santa Fe, a city nestled in greenery and renowned as the oldest state capital in the United States, dating back to its founding in 1610. During World War II, New Mexico played a pivotal role in American history as the location of the highly secretive Manhattan Project. Here, some of America's leading scientists raced against time to create the world's first atomic bomb. And, in a test on July 16, 1945, in the desolate Jornada de Muerto Desert, about 35 miles southeast of Socorro, the first atomic bomb was successfully detonated, leaving an indelible mark on world history. If you've seen the recent film Oppenheimer, you'll be familiar with this part of New Mexico's story. New Mexico drew the world's attention once more in 1947, when rumors of extraterrestrial life swirled after a now famous incident near Roswell. Reports circulated that a local farmer had stumbled upon what some believed to be the remnants of a crashed alien spacecraft on his property. To this day, the Roswell incident remains shrouded in mystery, feeding into global conspiracies about UFOs and alien encounters that have fascinated and mystified people around the world. New Mexico holds the distinction of having the largest Hispanic population among all U.S. states, with nearly half of its 2.1 million residents identifying as Hispanic or Spanish-speaking. This population often shares distinct physical features, darker complexions and brown eyes, that speak to their unique heritage. The state's history is marked by centuries of racial tensions between Hispanic communities, Native American tribes, and Anglo-Americans of English descent, a legacy that still resonates in the social landscape of New Mexico today. And like much of the United States, homelessness and unemployment are significant and persistent challenges here. Despite the lively cultural scenes of New Mexico's cities, homelessness continues to surge, with thousands of residents lacking permanent shelter. By January 2023, Albuquerque alone reported 1,231 individuals experiencing homelessness, largely driven by unaffordable housing costs. Statewide, recent figures from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development indicated around 3,850 people without stable housing, a staggering increase of nearly 48% compared to previous years. These individuals are often shadows, moving through the historic neighborhoods of Albuquerque or blending into the pine-covered landscapes around Santa Fe. For the predominantly darker-skinned communities, life here is a balancing act of struggle, resilience, and hope, set against a backdrop of deep-rooted economic challenges. New Mexico ranks consistently among the 10 poorest states in the U.S., with a poverty rate of 16.2% and nearly 1 in 4 children growing up in impoverished conditions. Securing food, water, and shelter is a daily battle for many. Discrimination and misunderstandings further complicate the lives of those experiencing homelessness, who face immense hurdles in accessing essential healthcare and education. Unfortunately, their plight is compounded by one of the lowest-ranked public education systems in the U.S., with New Mexico facing the second-highest dropout rate in the country. Only 73.9% of students here graduate on time, leaving too many youth without a clear path to future opportunities. Additionally, the average household income in New Mexico hovers around $50,822, making it the third lowest in the nation. Studies reveal that, on average, white residents earn twice as much as Black and Hispanic residents, with wealth disparities up to 6 times greater. Black youth face twice the unemployment risk of their white counterparts. Reflecting these economic divides, New Mexico's unemployment rate rose to 4.0% as of July 2024, up from 3.9% in June and 3.7% the previous year, underscoring the state's ongoing battle with economic instability and social inequities. The complex issues of homelessness and unemployment in New Mexico are intertwined with another grave concern: drug addiction.
Never seen before.
So why is fentanyl so prevalent in New Mexico? KRQE News 13 investigative reporter.
Addiction has become a major crisis here, with New Mexico gaining a reputation for its struggles against substance abuse, including both drug and alcohol dependence, as well as high rates of overdose and drug-related fatalities. A 2023 survey by Wallet Hub ranked New Mexico first in the nation for drug-related issues, reflecting the severity of addiction across multiple demographics. Among the most alarming trends is the prevalence of drug use among teenagers, many of whom are offered, sold, or exposed to illegal substances even within school environments, highlighting a widespread public health challenge. While prostitution is illegal across the United States, with the notable exception of certain areas in Nevada, the reasons for these laws generally include public health, morality, and ethical considerations, which vary by state. New Mexico enforces strict regulations against prostitution, maintaining a firm stance on the issue. Under state law, those found guilty of misdemeanors related to prostitution can face up to 6 months in jail and fines of $500. More serious offenses, classified as gross misdemeanors, may result in up to a year in jail and fines up to $1,000. In cases involving minors under the age of 16, individuals convicted of second-degree felonies could face as much as 9 years in prison and fines of up to $12,500. Despite these legal prohibitions, prostitution persists in New Mexico's urban centers, notably in Santa Fe and Albuquerque, where the underground market is difficult to track and is frequently facilitated through third parties. In some cases, coercion and deception are used, particularly against vulnerable women. Street Safe, New Mexico, a nonprofit organization dedicated to women's issues, describes how many women involved in prostitution struggle with addiction, are in desperate need of funds to pay rent or buy essentials like diapers, or are under the control of pimps. These women often understand the risks and consequences of their actions, but feel caught in a cycle they cannot escape, underscoring a serious social issue that local authorities and nonprofits work tirelessly to address. Christine Barber, director of Street Safe New Mexico, reveals that many women in this situation have been on the streets since they were as young as 13 or 14 years old. In certain parts of Albuquerque alone, over 1,000 individuals work as full-time sex workers. Beyond this, more than 18,000 people struggling with drug addiction, homelessness, and extreme vulnerability live on New Mexico's streets. To survive, some occasionally turn to sex work for extra income. Since 2008, Street Safe New Mexico has run a program known as the Bad Guy List, a bulletin distributed to women on the streets. This newsletter includes specific information about dangerous clients, aiming to keep these women safer and protect them from potential trafficking and exploitation. The conditions faced by these women are symptomatic of a broader issue. New Mexico has one of the highest crime rates in the United States. The state ranks at the top of national lists for reported crimes, with a staggering 6,462 incidents per 100,000 residents, over twice the rate seen in the safest states. For those familiar with New Mexico's long-standing challenges, underperforming education, low per capita income, and persistent social issues, this crime rate may not come as a complete surprise, as such factors are often historically linked to higher rates of crime. Yet, while these statistics are daunting, it's important not to normalize the situation. Instead, they serve as a reminder to remain vigilant and mindful of the need for safety and awareness in our communities, and of the work still needed to support vulnerable populations and address the root causes of these issues.